it's Yoshi here, and today's episode is about cleansing your living space and cleansing your possession. Now, I've decided to cover this topic instead of a mediumship training video for this week's episode, as I've been asked so many times by my clients about what's the right way of cleansing our home and possessions. And obviously, there is no the way or one right way of cleansing your living space, but I just thought that I'll share with you how I cleanse, or I'd rather use the word bless than cleanse, and bless my living space and object so that I can create space and own objects that give me great energy, inspiration, and help me live a joyful, spirit-inspired life. Now, I'll share with you a very simple and straightforward method, and it's very inexpensive too. And with this method, you really do not have to light up a sage stick and walk around the house every single day for 30 minutes. You don't even have to chant mantras for another 30 minutes and get stressed out. But if you enjoy doing those, and that's really fantastic. And if you're doing it because you feel you have to do it, or you get stressed out doing it, or you are doing it out of fear, just know that you are actually spreading negative energy in your space. And obviously, it's simply counterproductive and a waste of your time and your energy. And you do not want that, right? You want to bless your space because you know it's good for you and you enjoy doing it. And that positive emotion, the attitude, and the energy will transform your living space, and you live in a space that enhances your well-being. Now, before I share with you a 3 easy steps to bless your living space and objects, I want to ask you a question. Why do you think that we want to bless or cleanse our living space energetically? And we can all agree that everything is energy, right? And we can also agree that it will be a bit of a challenge to stay joyful every moment of our life, right? Now, many people, out of a habit, tend to dwell on worries and fears, angers, frustration, and those toxic energies can affect our well-being as well as our living space in a negative way. Now, think of your each and every negative emotion or thought as a piece of rubbish, and every time you think and feel upset or worried or any other less than positive emotion, just imagine that you are throwing a piece of rubbish in your living space. And depending on how skillful we are at managing our emotions and thoughts, we may be swimming in a sea of rubbish at the end of the day. Now, living in a pile of rubbish sort of environment can naturally block our energy flow, and which will intensify the feelings of upset, worry, frustration, or anger, or even stuckness, and which prevent us from experiencing great feelings and receive wonderful ideas and inspiration. Great opportunities are there for us to access. We don't want to live in that kind of condition and environment that will restrict and contract our energy, right? Now, I want to remind you that our thoughts and emotions are living things, and our negative thoughts and emotions can create stagnant energy within an environment. And we do not want to feel dull and tired all the time, but instead, we want to feel energized and inspired and excited to live our life. And you want to live in a space that makes you feel expansive energetically, and where you can really feel peaceful and well. So you want to bless your living space because when you bless your living space, you feel more energy, creative and inspired and healthy. And some people blame spirits for unsettled and stagnant energy within a house, but it's the energy of the living, it's not spirits. Their thoughts, people's thoughts and emotions are creating stuckness and unsettledness within the house. Now, I'll share with you a simple 3-step method of shifting the energy in your living space in a positive way. The first step is simply to keep your living space clean and eliminate clutter, which is a common sense, right? A clean space naturally makes us feel good, and your good feeling will add more positivity in that space and naturally works as a blessing within a space. So that's the first commonsensical but an important step. The second step is to create an altar in your house, and it doesn't have to be big at all. It can be really small, and simply place a small glass of water, a small white candle, and an incense in a small cup filled with salt. And light up your candle and incense. And the third step is to give thanks to all your spirit guides and angels and your loved ones in spirit for loving you and blessing your house. The energy of gratitude is so powerful, and your own gratitude will actually bless you from within and without and shift the vibration inside the house. And if you do this in the morning, spending a minute just to say thank you, and just leave an incense and candle burning for 5 minutes daily, and you'll transform your space in a positive way. And the great thing is that you'll be starting your day with a positive focus and positive intention. And it's super easy to bless your house and your life. And your incense, gentle, fragrant smoke will just travel throughout the house on its own, so you don't have to walk up and down the stairs and to bless your house. So here's my small altar. I use Japanese sandalwood incense that my parents have been using this brand as long as I can remember. And I so happened to find it at Long's supermarket. And it's very, very inexpensive. And there are 2 additional things you can do to bless your house, which are to put beautiful paintings and photos on the wall that uplift your spirit, and also frequently play beautiful, peaceful music that nourishes your spirit. And remember, every time you feel great, you are blessing your home. Very simple, right? So let's now talk about cleansing or blessing your objects. Are you the kind of person who likes to buy secondhand items? Or you may like to purchase special handcrafted items, or you may have a huge collection of items that were given to you as gifts. Now, either brand new or used, or handcrafted or not handcrafted, we would want to neutralize each object before we use it or decide to keep it in the house. And the reason for this is that each object can hold the energy of the person who made the object or previously owned the object. Now let's say you buy a second-hand dress from a thrift store, and let's say that the previous owner of that dress really loved the dress. And in this case, you most likely feel positive energy every time you wear the dress, which is fantastic. But let's say, sort of an opposite example, and let's say that the previous owner loved the dress, but she was depressed at the time she wore the dress. And that strong depressed energy can be present in that dress, and you can actually feel depressed every time you wear it. Another example is that let's say you went on a trip and brought back with you a beautiful handcrafted figurine. Now let's say that the person who crafted the figurine is so passionate about his work, and then that figurine can actually work as a lucky charm for you, as it holds the artist's positive energy and love. But if the artist created his work while thinking and feeling strongly about his recent unpleasant event, let's say, the negative energy can stay with the object, and the object can work against you. And this is not to scare anyone, but it's all about energy. The reason for this is energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can only be transformed or changed from one form to another. It's the law of conservation of energy, right? The great thing is that we can bless and transform any energy so it works for us. And maybe you've heard it before, but as a part of psychism and often used as one of the psychic development exercises, there is a practice called psychometry, where an individual can hold an object and get detailed information about the person who owned the object. And you can get lots of information from an object. This is possible simply because each object is infused with or surrounded with consciousness or space that is aware, or consciousness permeates each and every object in this world. That may be a better way of saying it, but the consciousness holds memories of whatever happened around it. So to neutralize and bless the energy of an object, simply use incense or a sage stick and shower the object with blessings and high vibrational energy. Very simple and straightforward, right? But sandalwood and sage work really well. And if the object can be washed, and then the first step is to wash the object. And if the object cannot be washed, and you can sprinkle the object with some sea salt. And then the second step is to use your incense and bless the object with the incense fragrant smoke. Just wrap the object that you want to bless with incense fragrant smoke. And as you're doing this, simply say, I bless this object with gratitude and love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's very easy. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe so you get notified whenever new episodes are uploaded. And I wish you a fantastic weekend.